Hey everyone, welcome to the Shadow Zone template tutorial. This one should go pretty quick. This one's fairly easy. I just have loaded up the 3:4 ratio. This will work the exact same way the team uh, template would work, except instead of dragging one, you're just dragging several of the athletes in there. You just line them up, or however you guys decide to build out your team cutouts. So, just from the top to the bottom, this just has the bottom layer. That's where most of the action is. It's just going to be right here in this first folder. This one's self-explanatory. You just have the subject there, then this top text. Then you have just very, very subtle background smoke. And then just that big glowing light there in the middle. And then you have your background color. Alright, so let's just get started. I'm going to grab my move tool and I'm going to turn on my auto select up here. First thing I want to do is tap this athlete. It automatically goes to his layer here. I want to grab a football player from another team. Just going to drag him in. I want to scale him down to the size I want. Let's just work with that for now. Alright, center him just right. Nice. Alright, then I'm going to close that. Next thing I'm going to do is, while we're at it, I'll go to the very bottom. Just double click this color layer. I want to pick this color right here in his jersey, just a slight green, and I want to bring it dark. Obviously, this template looks like it'll be better with it being dark. With the aesthetics, you just have the backlight and the shadow here. So that's just going to bring that in. Maybe just a hair lighter. Alright, so right there. And then I'm going to leave these two as is. I really don't change these that much. Then let's just go to the top text here. I want to grab my text tool right here. I'm just going to click in his name, Command or Control A to select all, and you can type whatever you want here. I'm just going to pick a random name, Justin Smith. Why not? Alright, then same thing with this next line, the varsity baseball, Command or Control A. I'm just going to say varsity football. And then obviously you can change the class here. Now you notice these letters are way spread out. If you ever want to change those, just make sure you come over here to the this characters panel. If you don't have it, it's probably up here in the Windows character. Very easy to get to. And then this VA with the arrows kind of pointing out, I have that set at 2000. Let's see what 1000 does. It just kind of makes it smaller. So that's how you can kind of spread these letters out more if you want without using the transform tool and then kind of warping them when you do that. So let's see here. We're going to leave that. Actually, you'll notice you have these little lighting effects. So I'll grab this starburst here, kind of move it around here. Sorry, let me grab my move tool again. I'm just using my arrows here. I'm going to put it right at the end of that end, right there. Same thing with this linear line. I'm going to move it down just a hair because it's got a slight starburst on that too. These don't need to be adjusted too much, or you can take them completely out if you want. Alright, let's turn that off. Sorry, let's go back in here real quick, because obviously once you click it, Command or Control A, you can also change the colors on these if you would like. I'm not going to here. Oh, sorry, I think I have. Hold on. I have that turned on. Alright, let me turn that off. So it's got a gradient overlay, so you'll have to turn that off, and then you can go in and just change the colors to whatever you want. Alright, so I'm going to say OK. I want to turn that overlay back on. Just a slight gradient. If you want to change this gradient overlay, double click it. And I just have it a very subtle change here, but you can click each one of these and kind of, you can see what it's doing here. I'm just going to click cancel and leave it how it was. Alright, now this is where all the editing really sits, is right here in this bottom. Alright, so let's open that up. First, you see you have this top one, that's just the school name. It's got some effects to it, slight bevel, slight stroke, little inner glow just to give it some dimension. It's kind of hard to see when you're this zoomed out. Let's zoom in. Then a color overlay, then an outer glow. Just kind of helps separate a little more. So I'm going to click in there with my text tool, Command or Control A. Let's change this color to, I want to double click the color here. Let's change it to some of this orange in his jersey. So with the eyedropper tool, it automatically comes up. I'm just going to click that there. Say OK. Now let's go back down here, and as you can see, it changed that. Alright, let's move to, we'll skip the starburst for now. Let's zoom out just a little more. Let's move, I want to come down a little further to Team Text. This is a smart layer, so you'll see whatever you change to this main text layer, you're going to see the shadows automatically change. So in order to change those, you will double click that layer icon, and it's going to open up its own document. So I'm going to click in there with the text tool, Command or Control A, type my new term or name, and if you notice in this document, this text is touching the very bottom of this. You want that. If you have any gap in there, it's going to look weird on the main document. It's going to be a gap there, a space between the text and the shadow, and that will throw off the whole look. Alright, so Command or Control S to save it. And you see the text, the shadow on the ground also changes. So now we will come back up here to the starbursts. You see those. So let's just click them on and off. So that linear, we're going to move it. You want that to kind of be in the center. So grab your move tool again. I'm just going to use my arrows again. Now I'll just put it right on the edge of a letter, like right there. It's just that light peeking through. Then you have a couple little starbursts up here at the top. And if you want to make more of these, just Command or Control J, and you can create as many as you want. I just put 2 on there. I don't want too many myself, so I'm going to grab that. I want to turn off my auto select for a minute. I'm just going to drag that kind of right, pull it more down in the light here. Same thing with this one. Just going to kind of drag it. I'm going to put it right there in that corner of that T. Right there. Cool. Again, if I was doing this for a client, I'd probably create a few more of those, but I'm not going to right now. If you feel like they're a little too strong, just grab the whole folder or each individual layer, play with the opacity, and keep it about right there at 80. Cool. Now you got these center, just the light rays shooting through. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to click the first one, kind of turn it on and off so you can see where it's coming through from. Grab that move tool, make sure your auto select's off, and again, just kind of drag it around. I usually like making this, put it right to the edge of that center letter. I want to grab the other side. I want to do the same thing. Keep it about right there. I like for that center letter to fall a little darker. Just makes me feel like the light is directly behind there. Sell that a little more. Let's grab this linear little starburst again. Let's put that more right here in the center. Maybe up a hair, like right there. So it makes it feel like that light's just right there in the middle. Of course, that light's not going to hit the center letter spreading outward. So that's kind of what these light rays are doing. But yeah, just get in there and play around with it. Lastly, the last thing we're going to do here, open this Team Text back up. I just closed it, and we're just going to change the color. I have this as a gradient, so it's you get a little color at the top and it kind of falls to dark towards the bottom. Again, I feel like if that light's shooting through, you're going to see a little color on this, and then since it's mostly silhouetted, you're going to just get a little just it's going to fall pretty dark towards the bottom. So to do that, I want to set it so I can see this orange. I want to pick that again. So I want to double click the gradient overlay. I want to click this one, and where it's blue here, I want to click that, click this color swatch. It automatically brings up the eyedropper again. Let's just grab that orange. Now I'm just going to make it a little darker and desaturate it just slightly, like right in here. Something like that. Again, if I was doing it for a client, I'd probably spend a little more time with it. Now that I'm zoomed out, I don't necessarily like it. Let me fix it. I'll click that again. Actually, I copied that orange earlier, so I want to paste it back in here just so I kind of know where I'm working with. And let's keep it about right there. Cool. And that's really it. If you want to change the size of this, that's fine. Let's close all these folders. Just click the actual bottom text and lights layer by itself, or the folder rather, sorry. Command or Control T. And you can see that's kind of changing everything. Bring it back up a little. There we have it. One more thing I'll change. Let's go back in here. Now let's open this up. The center light rays. Nope, not that one. Sorry, it's this text smoke right here. It's just a very subtle line of smoke that goes right between the bottom of the main text and where the shadow begins. I'm going to Command or Control T. I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to grab this edge, bring it out just a little bit more. As you can see, it's kind of hitting to the bottom of this M and this S now. Do a little bit more on this side. Right there, it's just the sitting fog kind of effect. And the same thing with this background glow. I want to click that layer, Command or Control T. I'm going to spread that backlight out just a little. Just like that. You know what? Let's bring it down just slightly. And that's really it. I think you guys will enjoy this. It's a clean, simple look. I feel like it's pretty powerful and impactful. It's a little dramatic, cinematic. I enjoy things like that. So hopefully you guys do too. If you have any questions about this template, please feel free to reach out to me and we will get it straight and get you on a road to success with this thing. Hopefully make some money off of it. All right, thanks guys.